Shalom, shalom, shalom. But hurt people is only half the saying. The other half of the saying is hurt people, heal people. This is the true duality. The true duality is we are the duality. Shalom. Yeah, my phone overheated, so I got to redo it. But we are the duality. We are the real duality. Duality has nothing to do with the energies. Energy is neither good nor bad. We're the true duality. So based on how we react and how we act based upon situations is the duality in and of itself. Now this has to go into the different seasons. How is different? 4 different seasons. You have summer, spring, winter, and fall. Right? Everybody is constantly going throughout 4 different seasons because everybody is a different individual and everybody grows differently and at different rates and different paces. So with that being the case, if I'm going through a fruitful summer, someone else can be going through a dreadful winter. It all has to do with how we go through and how we deal and process with the information that we go through, right? So if you've been through a bad breakup and you see someone else, maybe your sister, maybe a friend, maybe a cousin, doesn't matter who the individual is, could be a total stranger, doesn't matter. But you see that they're happy and that hurts you because you're in an unhappy state. This is where duality comes to play. Do you want to dampen their fun? Do you want to lower their vibration, lower their frequencies because you're coming from a hurt place? Or do you want to make sure that no one else feels the way you want to feel? Make sure no one else feels the way that you felt, the way that you're currently feeling. This is how duality comes into play based on how we weather the storms that come into our lives. Because as everyone is their own individual and as there is free will, I can't expect you to treat me how I would treat you. However, we can always hope. You can't expect me to treat you how you would treat me because we're all different individuals. We all go about things in a different manner. So with that being the case and the bottom line understanding of it is this is what we have to learn from, is that we can't let other people's drought, other people's hurt affect us. It's easier said than done. That's a fact. Because hurt people know how to hurt people. That's a fact. But on the other hand, hurt people also know how to heal people because they know how they've been hurt and they know how they wouldn't do that to someone else. So it's a different recovery period for every individual. That's one thing that can't be changed, and some hurts hit harder than others. So, and then you have people who don't want to decide, the ones who want to, play both sides. But at the end of the day, that's how you choose to live your life. And when you play the fence, you may miss an opportunity or you may not. It depends on what it is you're trying to go after. Same thing with a business opportunity. If you're afraid to take a chance with a business opportunity and you play in the fence because you want to stick with what you know, then someone else might come by and take that business opportunity. You cannot be mad. Well, you can. That's your choice. But truthfully and honestly, you cannot be mad that someone else had took the opportunity that you was afraid to go after. That's just a part of life. As a part of having free will, whether or not we're going to go out and take that chance, take that leap of faith, or whether or not we're going to stick to what we know. And from where I'm currently standing, what we've known hasn't worked. What we've known is what has scarred us. What we've known and what we've been taught is what keep us into this ever-going cycle of hurting others, of hurting ourselves, really. Because the person we hurt is one thing, but we know that we did it from a place of malice. So we have to live with our own decisions. We have to live with our own mind telling us that this wasn't right, that this wasn't the right decision. So not to laugh at anybody else's pain, not to sit here and wallow in anyone else's misery, but more so for us to stand on our own, accept that circumstances are what they are. We're going to take it and roll with it. We're going to grow from it. We're going to evolve. We don't want to revolve. We don't want to keep going back in the circle because they taught us they taught us the world is a globe. So everything goes in a circle, which is why we have a continuous cycle of hurting people. We only ever get half of the story. That's the only thing we're ever given. The reason we can only ever be given half the story is because the other half of the story comes from within. That's our story. We complete the story. Okay? Because only we can live our lives. If you allow someone else to live your life for you, then you're not truly living. You're not truly experiencing, expressing what it is that you want, your desires, your needs, your tendencies. All of these things you know. Now, when you can't express it, or that you're afraid to express it, that's when your mind plays tricks on you. That's when you can no longer trust yourself, because you cannot trust yourself to be honest because you're afraid of it. Or you cannot trust yourself to be open because you're afraid of what it might bring. You're afraid that you might miss out on something. However, you being afraid to do things, you being afraid to branch out, you being afraid to actually leave what you know behind, causes you to miss out on so much more. And not everything that is lost can be given, it can be brought back. Shalom. Not everything that is lost can be regained. So sometimes it takes that hurt and that pain to realize that what you missed out on is not coming back, before you to realize that the next thing coming. Next time you feel a certain type of way, next time you get a new proposition, next time you get this business venture, that this time you're not going to sit back. This time you're not going to let it pass you by, simply because you've known how it felt the last time. That's part of karma. Karma being is, we know what we did, whether it's right. We know what we did, whether it's wrong. And that's not to judge anyone, because we all have different things that we go through. We all come from certain backgrounds that help to build the foundation that we've had. However, with the newfound awareness and a newfound knowing and knowledge that we're coming across on a daily basis, this is time to do away with old foundations, to put down foundations of our own. We can't continue to use the foundations that our parents have. We can't use the foundations that the people on social media use, because as we know, a lot of people on social media is full of shit. Call it like it is. They full of shit. They show you the one good video, but they don't show you all the other bad videos it took to get that good video. That's a part of hiding the progress. That's not what we need. What we need is people who are going to be truly authentic, people who are going to be true to themselves, true to the process. Because you can't skip over things. If you do, you're going to have to go back and relearn them anyway. So it's better to do it right the first time. You know what I mean? Really go full on. Whether it hurts or not, you don't want to close off that heart chakra. Because when you become cold, that's when the saying hurt people resonates. That's when it sits on you personally, where you don't care how you affect other people. And then when you come out of that shell again, when you're ready to come out of that shell, now you have more things that you have to get over. You have more pain that you have to deal with because of your own actions, not because of how someone else made you feel. It's easier to get over how someone else made us feel than it is for us to get over how we make ourselves feel, because we have to live with us. We don't have to live with nobody else. We don't live inside of nobody else's skin, inside of anybody else's body. We live in our own. So with that being the case, we have to live a life that we're proud to live, regardless of when hurt comes, because it's going to come. Hurt is going to come. Hurt is going to go at the same time. It speaks to the individual whether you stay in a hurt place or whether you grow from it, whether you go back or whether you continue to move forward. Where I'm at, I'd rather look towards the future. I don't want to be a person who's stuck in the past. Being stuck in the past, is lessons that can be learned from it, but remaining in the past is not good, because you know what the past brings. You've been there. You've done that. That's where the real fear comes from. It's from embracing that which we have never known, embracing that which we've never experienced. And that's the most fearful thing, because only thing we've ever known was the world to be harsh. Only thing we've ever known was for the world to beat us while we're down. But was that the world, or was that hurt individuals in the world? That's the true question we need to be asking. Is the world a cold place, or is it the people that we surround ourselves with that make the world seem cold? Do we see the joy in things, or do we see the misery? The people that we're around, when we're in a good mood, do they bring us down? That's really where we see whether or not the world is cold or not. It's based around who we are inside and who we surround ourselves with. This is where the truth actually lies. This is why we need to grow and become fruitful people. You know what I mean? We can't just stay who we was. We have to grow past. We have to let old things go. We got to let old mindsets go. To let old personalities go. Because all of this has been pushed onto us. All of this has been forced on us. None of this is naturally our own. We're not even working with the mind that is natural to us, because we're put into schools that tell us how to talk, that tell us how to think. So we already know that nothing is naturally ours. So why are we so afraid to let go? Why are we so afraid to move past what's been given to us, not what we brought ourselves, not what we made for ourselves, but what's been given to us. That's the only question that remains, is why do we continue to sit in old patterns? Shalom. Enjoy the rest of your day.